Welcome back to our channel. This is the type of content that you usually get to see. But before it gets to that, it looks like this. This project is brought to you by one of our subscribers. Someone just like you that found us on YouTube and saw one of our videos and decided to reach out and work with us. This is a smart home in the construction stages, and today it's going to be educational. I want to show you the options and the potential, the things that you should be thinking about when building a smart home. Let's start right here in the foyer. This is where a lot of decisions have to be made because this is the entry of a home. Things like lighting, control, security, audio, video, things like a door lock. Today, we're gonna get to the details of it and what we've done in this home and the things that you can do. Perfect example. Let's talk about lighting, cleaning up wall acne in a home. As you can see, this is a remodel. So one of the things that we want to do is clean up the wall acne on this specific wall because it's the entry point of the home. One of the things that we're going to be doing is we're going to be relocating all of these switches except for one to another location and putting a wireless control for a keypad right here that can not only control the hidden switches, but activate scenes like welcome and goodbye. This little thing that's beeping is the old security system that is going to be taken away. It's going to be replaced by a touchscreen from Control 4. This is one of the places where you're going to be sending commands, where you're going to be looking at the intercom from anyone coming into the house, but also control every aspect of this beautiful, or what will be a beautiful, smart home. In an office, internet and Wi-Fi is more important than lifestyle. In this specific scenario, we definitely hardwired for a bunch of data lines to make sure that any computer, any printer, or any work-related products are always on the network and not relying on Wi-Fi. However, we can't live without Wi-Fi. So we actually wired for a Cat cable for what will be an access point in the ceiling. So as we're talking ceiling, we did wire for a pair of in-ceiling speakers to make this an audio zone. We don't have a television in this room, but if you are going to add a TV, make sure to run extra Cat cabling so you not only have network, but options for audio and video. As we're talking audio and video, this is a big home with a lot of rooms that's going to have a lot of entertaining and smart things. So let's go check it out. In the gray room, this is the place where you're gonna do a lot of entertaining. So having a TV in place, it is critical. Now, depending on the television that you go with, you may need a box like this one, but that also depends on the TV that you use. And this is the rooms where you can set up a surround sound for great quality audio. So let me give you some options on that. All right, so let's talk audio because there's gonna be a lot of partying going on in here. When it comes to speakers placement, in this specific scenario, we went with in-ceiling speakers and pre-construction mounts because there's going to be wood paneling. You might have seen in other of our videos where we do invisible speakers or smaller or bigger speakers. In this specific room, it is a surround sound, but we're limited on where to put them, but we want to make sure that we have a surround sound. It's a 5.1, and this is a subwoofer. This is an Allura 8-inch in-wall subwoofer that is going to require a secondary amplifier. That's the one thing to keep in mind when it comes to actual subwoofers. If you're running a coaxial cable, put it next to an outlet. If you're doing an in-wall subwoofer, make sure that you have speaker wire, conductors, and amplification to make it bang. All right. Kitchen and dining. This is the place where you're going to either entertain or control your home. Now, in this scenario, this specific zone of audio is wired with a pair of speakers outside of the island. We're also wired for a Cat cable for a touchscreen. This is a place where if somebody rings the doorbell, you want to see them through your touchscreen if you want to make changes to the television, to the music, to the shades, whatever the case it may be, right? You also have the option to carry a tabletop in case you want to move in between your kitchen and your dining room, which also good option here will be to add an extra pair of in-ceiling speakers. Why? When it comes to audio, you want to be able to spread your audio around so you don't have to turn up all the zones of audio to get the levels of audio that you want in a selected area. When it comes to speakers, you have options. It's a bunch of guest rooms in this house, so I'm not going to take you through all of them. But if you have a bunch of guest rooms, these are the type of things that you can account for or put in there. One, TV. You want to run data lines to the television, extra data lines if possible to pull audio into the in-ceiling speakers that you can put in the room. If you are wiring speakers, make sure to run 2 so you can have a stereo. If it's the master bedroom, put a 5.1 in there. Another thing that you can also account for in rooms like this, it's cat cabling to the entry point of the room. In this scenario, we can put a touch panel here to communicate intercom options throughout any other touch panel in the house. But outside of that, it's just the guest room. The cool stuff happens in the master. During construction, you may not have power in certain rooms. I can't show you the master bedroom because it's extremely dark in here and I got to stand by a window, so I guess you'll have to come back and watch the completion video. However, I can show you the master bath. In the master bath, audio, video, and lighting are your options. This specific project has a pair of in-ceiling speakers for a zone of audio, one directly above you and the other one in the shower. In your scenario, place it wherever it fits your room. However, you can put a television in this room. Behind you, there is some data lines. Excuse the construction. Behind you, there is some data lines for the television that we're going to be mounting with an audio extractor to pull audio into the speakers in the ceiling. The family room, another room where you may entertain your family or friends. In this area, we actually have 4 in-ceiling speakers, this scenario, round speakers, but like we mentioned, this is the places where you can do invisible speakers. If you purchase them during construction, you can do invisible speakers. If you want to relocate them to bookshelves and bring them down, you can do that as well. But in regards to the video side, this room, it's not wired above the fireplace like a lot of our other projects. We're actually designing it to have a framed television on this side that is going to look like a picture when the lights are off. You guys hear that? That's the old rack. This home is under remodel. So let me show y'all the old rack and where the new rack will be. That is the old rack. As you can see, not the best placement. This is where the original homeowner had all the cabling and audio video set up. We decided to relocate it to a place that fits more equipment and it's easier to service if it ever needs to be touched. Let's go check that one out. So in the home theater, we're gonna sit down in the seat of the house. This entire room was built around this seat because this seat is going to get the best video and audio experience. In this home theater, we are set up for a 7.2 surround sound with a 4K projector screen. Let's talk about options and where to line things up. I set you here so you can visualize the audio behind me. But first, let's transition to the front of the room. And in the front of the room, we're going to talk about speaker and screen options. This specific room is set up for in-wall speakers behind an acoustic screen. Keep in mind that if your screen can't do that, put your in-wall speakers to the right, left, and under the screen as your center channel. If your budget allows, keep in mind that box speakers are going to give you overall a better audio experience. When you can control the airflow of a speaker, you can control the quality of the speaker. In-wall and in-ceiling speakers sometimes get a little kickback, but architectural audio technology has evolved so much over the years that if you do have to go with in-wall, you're still gonna get amazing audio. Screen, when it comes to the size, there is industry standard, but at the end of the day, it is your home. Go as big as you want or stick to CES standards based on the distance of the seating. However, that has nothing to do with the actual screen that you use. That's just size. When it comes to screens, you have options to do acoustic screens that allow audio to travel. You have the option to do ambient resistance screens that actually reject the audio from within the room to give you options of using this home theater as a lights on room and still have a sharp image on the screen. For the rearers keepers, keep in mind this is a remodel, but if this was your home, you have the option to do in-wall speakers to keep them out of the way, in-ceiling speakers if you don't have access to exterior or side walls, and then once again, for in this scenario, your surround backs, you could do in-wall or surface mounted as well. This right here is going to be the best seat of the house because my surrounds are right next to me and my surround backs are behind me. Above me is your projector. This piece of equipment placement determines on the aspect, it's determined based on the throw ratio. So placement has a lot to do with the projector, but when it comes to the projector, the things that you want to keep in mind is making sure that you have data lines running to the projector, that you have at least narrowed down projector selection so you can find the distance, and two, when it comes to the brightness and lumens of their projector, comparing that with the type of screen that you're going and the type of lighting that you're going to have in the room can help you narrow down projector selection. The rack. No one talks about this room, and in this scenario, not a lot going on, but in the design and construction stages, this room is extremely important. This is where all of the cabling for the house is going to come. This is also where you may want to put your centralized lighting panels, your Wi-Fi, everything. So keep that in mind as you're designing and building your home. Outdoors. There's a lot of ground to cover, obviously, so I'll try to make it quick. As you can see, this specific project, we're sitting on a lot of acreage. We do have other buildings that we have to account for as part of the design. So running conduits in between your home and any other building is going to be critical. Also to the gates. Now, outside of that, there's going to be a lot of partying and things going on in here. So out here, we definitely set up for a bunch of different zones of audio. This is part of the original construction. This is a whole new project, and it's also going to be another video, so you have to come back and check it out. I hope that I added some value to you today. I hope that the video that you saw was educational and somehow entertaining. If you want to connect with us like this homeowner, click the link in our bio. We're here to help. We'll be happy to work with you. Outside of that, don't forget to look, listen, and live with Empire AV.